NSPPD. This is my name. I'm making this testimony from Sydney in Australia. I joined NSPPD in 2022. On the 11th of April 2024, my son, he woke up, he went to school, he was okay. And then about 2 o'clock in the afternoon of the same day, the school, they gave us a call to say that they were doing a soccer selection thing in school. And in the course of doing that, my son, he collapsed on the field without being tackled by anyone. So when they went to attend to him, they found that he was unresponsive. They tried to do CPR for him. He didn't come back. They found out that his heart had stopped. They quickly sent for a defibrillator that they had close to the school. They tried to kickstart his heart. They called the ambulances to come. And when the first set of ambulances came, they found that it was so severe, they asked for the ICU ambulances to come as well. So by that time, my wife was there. I left work from a different location that I was. The only companion I had in the car was NSPPD prayer, "Oh Lord, show me mercy." That was all I played throughout till I got to the hospital. I went to the emergency department of the hospital. They took me to the resuscitation area in the quiet room. We were not still able to see my son because they were working on him. And then a few hours after, one of the doctors came in to call me to come and have a look at his chest x-ray. I went in there, his lung was completely collapsed, and they said they're going to take him to intensive care, so they did. And then they told us that we'll have to see him in intensive care whenever intensive care will allow us to see him. So we went there, waited for like 3 hours outside. After that, they allowed us to see him. We went in and saw my son. He was in a bad state, tubes everywhere, his nose, his mouth, his ears. We decided to anoint him. We prayed for him. We told the nurse who was there to excuse us, and then she did. So we prayed for him, and then the visitor's time was over. So she said, she took my phone number and said, "I'll give you a call if anything happens in the night." Whole night, I played, "Oh Lord, show me mercy." The night was so long. Woke up in the morning, we went to the hospital and we went and saw him. He was still intubated. We didn't have any option than to wait for when anesthesia was going to start in the afternoon here, which was going to be the morning of Friday the 12th of April. When NSPPD came, I was just saying, "God, put the word of this boy in the mouth of Pastor Jerry." And halfway into the prayer, Pastor Jerry said, "From now to the next 50 years, you will not bury anybody prematurely."
Somebody hear me. From now to the next 50 years, you will not bury anybody prematurely.
That was the word I took. When NSPPD was over, we came into ICU to see him, and one of the doctors came to me and said, "Oh, tomorrow we're going to start to see if we can extubate him slowly." He went home. Then on the Saturday, while we were coming back to the hospital, one of the staff of the hospital, he rang us and said, "Oh, we just extubated him. So, but it would have been good if one of you is here because he doesn't know where he is." So we went down to the hospital, we saw him, and then the doctor came to me and said, "Look, even though he's been extubated, his signs are not still very good. We don't know how it's going to be. His memory might be affected. We don't know about disability. We're going to assess all that. And whatever he remembers in 1 week is what he's going to remember. So we don't know. We're just going to keep watch and see." But Pastor Jerry always says, "What you're afraid of will not happen."
What you are afraid of will not happen. What you are afraid of will not happen. What you are afraid of will not happen.
And people will not gather to tell you sorry.
People will not gather to tell you sorry. Amen.
So I always hold on to those words. He was transferred from ICU on Monday, which was 3 days after, to the ward. While we were there, they kept doing things for him, doing CT scans, MRI to check his brain and all that. He was very confused initially. He used to just, when you ask him things, he would say different things. Ask him about his subjects. He would say even the subject he wasn't doing. We kept bringing to the altar. Before we knew it, everything returned back to him. His memory was good. He can walk around, no problem. The boy that was taken by ambulance, ICU ambulance to the hospital, he walked out with his feet. So I'm here to thank God and to say thank you to you, Pastor Jerry, your crew. I want to say thank you. God bless you. What God cannot do does not exist.